Hey guys, just rolled into Santee Cooper. First visit ever for me. I've never been here and I know zero about it. I can remember watching shows, when I was a kid, that mid-20s, 30s, when Bassmaster came here and literally, just holding up giant fish. And I know it's a lot of water, and I know it's basically shallow, which you guys know I love to fish that. But other than that, in a lot of the past videos, you take your past experience, and I kind of have an educated guess. The only thing that I know about this is it's going to fit the way I want to do it. We have a full moon coming this week, and tomorrow is going to be very cold. The first day of practice is going to be like a low in the 20s, and the rest of the weather for the week is just straight up. So honestly, I'm going to just about bet the house and say this is going to be crazy. And it's almost scary to fish those events where I think this is an event where 20 pounds isn't going to matter. I think you're going to have 25 to 30 for people to even clap for you. I don't even, that sounds weird saying that 20 pounds is not going to matter. That's my prediction before practice and even before the tournament. But as far as practice, whenever I go to a lake like this that I've never been, I'm going to pick an area the first day and literally go put the trolling motor down and fish and just kind of see, what stage the fish are based on bites, and just look and learn. I know this right now. I am not going to be able to cover the whole lake in practice. That's why I want to pick a section, learn it, fish it, learn what the fish are doing, and just kind of go from there. So let's look at Santee Cooper on ActiveCaptain. I think this is Lake Marion and this is Moultrie. And I will tell you right now that the size of this does not do it justice. I do know one thing. This canal that connects the two here, this diversion canal, is 5 miles long. And looking at ActiveCaptain, it looks 50 yards long. You can see where I'm staying, kind of between the two of them. But, the tournament goes out up here in this creek. And I think what I'm going to do is spend my time in practice on the upper end of this Lake Moultrie and the lower end of Lake Marion. And the reason being is since these are so big, it gives me protection on the wind. If we get a hard north wind during practice, then and the tournament, I can kind of focus on here and kind of be somewhat protected. And then the same way in Marion, we get a hard south wind, then I can spin there. But you can just look, there is mazes and mazes. And you can also go into Google. This up here is pretty much all covered in cypress trees. They're everywhere. And there's lily pads. Just from driving over the bridge, I saw lily pads and grass and things like that. But like I said, this is a big, giant area. I'm not going to be able to cover it all. So pretty much that map right there is what I'm going to look for going in and starting practice. Practice for me on Santee wasn't great. I did figure out how to get some bites, which is the outside of the cypress trees, just throwing a spinnerbait. But what worries me is that what if the wind doesn't blow? The water's not that dirty. I really feel like those fish were there and they were biting the spinnerbait just because the wind was blowing. So, the good thing about it is the last day of practice, the last 10 minutes, I picked up a frog and had, 4 or 5 bites. And so that kind of gives me the 1-2. I'm hoping that these fish that's biting the spinnerbait on the outside, that I can catch them flipping. It just scares me because the water's so deep out there, 2, 3, 4 foot. It's just hard to get them to react sometimes with the flipping bait. But anyway, this place has got giants in it. It's got a bunch of them. But I really think, like a lot of these places, kind of like Florida, it's really area oriented, meaning There's going to be a few hot areas. There's going to be some guys catch them, and there's going to be some guys struggle too. Finally! Golly! 5 hours later. Finally. Show them to me. Finally. Dang it. You would think the Bassmaster Classic champ would have a little more luck than what we're having. It's like, hey dude, welcome to the real world. That was last time. So a guy wins the Bassmasters Classic, and then immediately following you have an event, and you think, well, you know, momentum's going to be on his side, and it's going to a place that's shallow. Not wrong. You know, that, if you guys follow me, and a lot of you probably have in my career, like, we do this, I mean, we have good finishes, and then it's just, there'll be one that's just dead bottom, and every one of them have the same thing in common. It's just I get locked in on a deal that I believe is right at the time, and it's not. Like, after the tournament's over, I look at it, you know, and the frogfish that I was going, the ghost frogfish that I was trying to catch, you know, I convinced myself that they were spawning. They weren't spawning. They were in, you know, I put all the pieces together, you know, on the second day of the tournament, all the pieces of things I did wrong. But, you know, coming into the event, you know, I had a spinnerbait deal going on outside the trees. In the wind, we had 0 wind. So I had to go all in on the frog. And, you know, the first day I have 5 bites on a frog. I catch a 4, I lose a 5 at the boat. I have 2 more that try to get it that don't want it. You know, another 7-8 pounder just get all over it and miss it. But here's the thing is, you know, that midday, 10 or 11 o'clock, when it's time to change, and I get a bite, you know, a 4-pounder, and then immediately I lose a 5, and then I'm all in. I mean, I have a 7 or 8. I'm all in. I'm only there to win. Points don't matter now. I'm in the Classic. So, you know, after the first day, only having 1 and 30-something pounds leading, I mean, it's just a kick in the teeth. And then the second day, I mean, you know you're out of it. The only way I can make up any ground is catch 30. And what do? You go throw frogs again. So, you know, even though I've done this for a long time, even though I make a living fishing, I still do dumb stuff. It's just the way it is. So just chalk it up as Santee, missed opportunity, dumbest thing ever, trying to do what I did. So, yeah, I just kind of feel like the old cow in the picture up there right now. So, on to the next one.